should have a shield. Can I have a shield?
You sure can.
Yay! Dun, 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 dun. Splash fans, welcome and greetings to this would be number 6 of the Journey to Infinity War review series. Thank you for joining us so much. We have reached the big one, or I should say the first big one in this amazing Marvel Cinematic Universe franchise at age, I don't know, 10, high school, whatever. Would you have ever thought that this kind of a movie could happen?
No, I never thought that they'd make, like, the Avengers. I never thought that that would happen. And it was so crazy because I always thought, my whole life, I thought Justice League would have happened, like, long before that.
Oh, yeah, because Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, the trinity of characters that everybody knows.
They had so many chances. But what's most crazy about it is... what's most crazy about it is that they didn't just start with the Avengers. They actually built it up. They actually did a decent job, and they actually got people excited for the Avengers. Like, here you just saw Thor, Captain America, Iron Man.
And it was the idea from the beginning.
Right.
It's like they had a post-credit scene in their first movie saying, I want to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative.
Right.
And anyone who stayed after that and watched that and knew what they were talking about went, no fucking way.
They're going to do an Avengers movie, and they did.
We still didn't believe them. Even seeing that credit scene, we're like, oh, that's a cute little Easter egg.
We were waiting so long, too. It felt like how long we've been waiting for Infinity War and knowing it's happening. Like, the time display show, it felt so long waiting for the Avengers.
And they, yeah.
And it finally came out. You had seen it 5 times by the time you finally dragged me to it.
Oh, no, because, the theater security and like anti-pirating is not what it is today, and so it found its way online when it released in the UK 2 weeks prior. I found it on the Vimeo website. Yeah, it was bootlegged, but my hype was uncontrollable. Mm-hmm. I had a Facebook event page with like 50 people that were supposed to be going, and I was just losing my mind, watching every TV spot, going on YouTube, doing the full 9 yards, whatever. But anyways, I found it on Vimeo, and yeah, slight exaggeration, but I did watch it twice all the way through before I saw it in theaters. On the internet. Nice. Horrible quality. I was pretty much just listening to it. Oh my god.
That's crazy. But the film did such a good job of bringing all these characters together and not overplaying or underplaying any of them. Nobody felt underutilized. Obviously, there's Hawkeye and Black Widow. We were expected to have a movie from them shortly after Avengers, I think. Initially, they were supposed to...
Like Budapest.
Yeah. But yeah, and then Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk.
We were introduced to in this movie.
He's headless now. And he did such a great job. Loki being the main villain.
And talk about a character change. When we first see Loki, he's not Loki from Thor. Like, he's drastically, like, his demeanor and the way he carries himself and his presence is very different from Thor. He's been through some shit. He's pale, sweaty, long hair. Like, he just looks like...
mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Loki's entrance and Thor's entrance in the Avengers is great. It's phenomenal. It's like, how are they going to bring... obviously Thor's chasing Loki.
Right.
But Loki's entrance, that whole scene is just... It's just really good. And how not ready they were for it. And how...
I'm Loki of Asgard, and I'm burned with glorious purpose.
Right. We get some good humor in the Avengers. One of the most iconic lines in all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Puny God.
Puny God. Or, I have an army. We have a Hulk.
They find a great way to center Hulk in this film too. Obviously, learning that Loki wants something out of Hulk, and
use their biggest gun against him.
right, and so it's. I'm gonna have to pass it off to you.
No, it's okay. Just seeing all the characters interact in true form, nobody feels out of place or out of character. All their dialogues, the bickering and banter between Tony Stark and Steve Rogers is so on point because you look at where Tony's come from and his life experiences, and Cap just being fresh out of the 40s, basically. Like, he pretty much woke up and it's been a few months and that he's been in this world. So he is still very much so a man out of time, which they comment on a lot of times.
I understood that reference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Phil Coulson's fanboying over Captain America is also one of the highlights of the movie. We lose Phil Coulson in this movie, and he's been such this like little sprinkle in side character with a few lines here and there. You don't think that you would care so much, but man, when you see Loki's scepter go through him, it's like,
yeah, and then he
ow.
dies. Yeah, and that's the first death that we get. Oh, yeah, it turns out he's not dead, but
Joss Whedon said in this cinematic universe, Coulson's dead.
But Joss Whedon also created Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So
you bastard. Wow, 6 minutes already. Wow. So there's so many things that we want to say about the Avengers, because it's just still hard to comprehend that this happened, because everyone's been trying to do this since the Avengers. They started this thing in Hollywood that everybody wants to match, and nobody has come anywhere close. It's
the
always
monster
just
universe
failure.
Failed
Mummy,
on its first leg, and then they made the Mummy, and they actually put the stuff in there, and now they can't go back from it unless they stop. Justice League, DC, obviously struggling to get off the ground well or do well. Who else is trying to do it?
well, actually, the
Star Wars.
The Star Wars a little bit with like the spin-offs and things like that, and trying to have connectivity, but like the Sony's Spider-Verse, like they're trying to have like the Silver and Black movie with Black Sable and Silver Sable and Black Cat. Sorry, they're trying to do that movie, and then Venom and
Into the Spider-Verse. That's Miles Morales is the main character,
and then the animated movie. Yes, right. So they're trying to do all that, but nobody's come close thus far to what they should have accomplished.
They shouldn't have fired Andrew Garfield, and they should have just went on with their Sinister Six.
And Amazing Spider-Man came out the same year as the Avengers, 2012. I do remember that. So those things were separate at the time, and now we've come full circle, and we have them in the Marvel Universe.
And I'm glad it's Tom Holland. But we'll come back to that.
Coming back to just some of the highlights of the Avengers are there really words to put into perspective the way you felt when they're all battling the Chitauri at the end of the film, and the camera's just soaring through New York City, showing them all work together, and you see Iron Man drop down next to Captain America, blast his shield so that it deviates and takes out all the aliens, and then takes off, and then just all the smart quotes from everybody. I'm gonna need a lift. All right, clinch up, Legolas. Like, everything was just so right in that movie, and perfect and enjoyable, and it was a comic book put on the big screen.
And I think the craziest thing about it, and I'll say it again, is that they did it well. They did it so well. And how? It's crazy, because with such a big production like that, you don't want to be let down. Like Justice League, you have such high expectations, and you want it to be a good film. And what happens when it's not? Well, we didn't have to worry about it. The Avengers was a phenomenal film, and it took off really well, and it made a lot of money, and it, further solidified, this MCU thing, we're going to go as far as we can with it. And now we have all this, and it's just been such a blast so far.
And they had a comic book movie that made over $1 billion.
And had that happened before?
No.
Yeah.
Not even close.
So yeah, the Avengers made $1 billion, which was crazy.
It was like 1.4, 1.5, something like that. Like, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Still, I believe in the top 5 or close to highest grossing movies of all time.
The Avengers and Infinity War is going to beat it. I already know. I already know.
They're saying it might be Force Awakens now, which is just nuts.
Well, it would have to. I think it would. Force Awakens is hard because,
Situationally.
we waited a long time for Star Wars, and more people like Star Wars than will admit to liking superhero movies, I think.
Yes.
But
there's more generations of it.
But it's crazy that never has it happened before, where a few movies came together to create the Avengers
Culmination.
The culmination. So that was its own, threshold staple. But now we're even going further with it.
Yeah. So everything in there was great. I think Hawkeye. They didn't know. I mean, they found something to do with him for like 3/4 of the movie. But when he finally got to wake up and be Clint Barton again and not be brainwashed, I love what they did with his character. The back and forth between him and Black Widow, the fight scenes were so. The movie was one giant just nerdgasm, one after another, where you're like, I can't believe what I'm watching right now. And we've seen villains monologue how many times, and just have Loki interrupted mid sentence, Hulk grab him by the leg and ragdoll him back and forth. Are you kidding me? Or after Hulk and Thor had fought earlier in the film, they're standing next to each other and Hulk just punches them out of frame.
Yeah.
Like, I laughed and enjoyed that movie
because he's unhinged.
So hard. And how quotable! Like I still think Avengers is probably the most quotable Marvel film so far, because you can say so many lines from that, and everyone knows what you're talking about. That's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows what that's from. Puny God. Everyone knows what that's from. I understood that reference. That has become a staple in like common conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever I say, "Oh, I understood that reference," somebody goes, "And I understood that reference,"
right.
It's the best thing ever. So Avengers did so many things that we never thought possible, with cinema, comic book source material, characters, acting, the whole 9 yards. You have no idea what you're dealing with. Shakespeare in the Park. I love everything about this film.
It was a great film, and everything that has come after it has just been solid gold. Some of the movies not being better than others, but all around totally solid franchise. I can't believe the history that is just being made with all this. It's fantastic. Absolutely. Thank you, Avengers.
So that would conclude our part 6, I believe. Thank you so much, Avengers. Or thank you for following or for watching the series, and thank you to Marvel Studios and Disney for bringing us the Avengers and just countless hours of entertainment. How do you follow up a movie like the Avengers? With the only way they know how. Iron Man 3. This will be interesting. All right, so stay tuned for the next episode on our journey to Infinity War, and see you guys soon. May the film be with you.
Bye, guys. Talk, bitch. Talk, bitch. Talk, bitch. Talk, bitch. Talk, bitch.
Bitch talk, bitch talk, bitch talk, bitch talk. Marvel, bitch talk. Infinity War, bitch talk.